Good morning, everybody. I am Ezekiel, and I'll be taking the course Systemic Functional Grammar, SFG, Systemic Functional Grammar. So, starting from the basics, let's just know what this Systemic Functional Grammar is before diverting into tree diagrams. Because if you don't know the basics, you cannot apply it into tree diagrams. So the first thing you should know is the basics. Systemic Functional Grammar was originated and propounded by Michael Halliday. I'm sure you're familiar with that name. 1961. Michael Halliday propounded this theory. He used where there's some trees, there's some sentences that you cannot analyze using TGG. So that is where SFG came up from. So analyzing sentence, there are systemic grammarians. They have carved out 4 language tools. The first one is the unit. The second one is the structure. The third one, class. Then the fourth one, system. So for this course, we will only be using majorly just units and structure. So now, unit. Let's take unit first. In grammar, we have 4 grammatical units, which are: number 1, morpheme. Number 2, we have the word. Number 3, we have the phrase, also called a group. 5, number 4, and we have the clause. Yeah. Some would say that the clause and sentence, but the clause also can be used as the sentence. Now, let's just give a brief description on this. Now, the first one, I'll just quickly run through what they mean. Morpheme, we all know what morpheme is as the smallest indivisible significant word of a word. For example, now we have something like let's just say boy. Boy is a morpheme. Why? Because it's significant, it's indivisible. You cannot divide morpheme, right? So if I have something like boys, this is no longer a morpheme, it has become a word. I get me. So we have 2 different morpheme summing up to be a word: boy plus s. I hope that's clear. So with this, you could know that one or more morpheme makes up a word. Are you getting it? One or more morpheme, one makes up a word. So, but you cannot have one or more words to make up a morpheme. No. So one or more morpheme make up a word. So now, right here in that's under morpheme and word. Now, what is a phrase? A phrase is just a short statement that doesn't have a meaning. It doesn't have a finite verb. Any statement that does not have a finite verb is a phrase. Why a clause is a string of words that has a finite verb. A finite verb is something like, okay, verbs, action verbs. Are you getting it? E.g., we have do, we have is, we have was, went. All these are verbs. So when a sentence have a verb, it's a clause. Let us say come. Do you believe that come here is a sentence? It is a finite verb. It's a clause. I can tell somebody, come. I've passed the message. Are you getting it? But when I tell somebody, boy is not a finite verb. So I've not passed any message. It does not make any sense. But I tell you, go. You know, yes, I've made a sentence and I've made meaning. So that is that under this morpheme, word, phrase, group, clause. But finally, let's add, for the sake of SFG, we are going to add sentence. Now the next thing, so I'm sure we are all okay with this, so I would like to just rub the first part of this board off. So the next thing we are going to be moving on to is how we pass sentence in SFG. P-A-R-S-I-N-G, passing of sentence. I get me? Okay, when we have a sentence such like okay, Ade is a boy and he laughs a lot. This is a sentence. Are you getting it? Now this sentence is made up of two clauses. That's why we're going to come to clause here. So we're going to take it right like this. So this sentence is made up of two clauses. Hope that's correct. Now to pass a sentence, this is a full sentence, we use the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we have passed this sentence to make sure that yes, 3 line 3 slash, this is a sentence. Now for a clause, Ade is a boy and he laughs a lot. We are having two clauses in this sentence that is joined with a conjunction. I hope that's clear. And here is a conjunction. So we have two sentences joined with a conjunction. Now how do we pass this? Okay, fine. This to pass sentence we use 3 slash. To pass a clause we use 2 slash. I hope that is correct. Now Ade is a boy. That is a clause. You put 1, 2. He laughs a lot. 1, 2. So here is the word conjunction. Here is the clause 1, clause 2. Is that clear? Now in every sentence, okay, in every sentence that has more than one clause, there is either a main clause and a subordinate clause. Are you getting it? Here, what is the main clause? The main clause is the same clause that carries, that has the main verb, that has a verb. Now is here is a verb, laughs here is a verb. So we have two main clauses in this sentence. We have two main clauses in this sentence. So this will be an what? Now in SFG, there are signs we use to represent this. Okay, sentence we use the what we call the sigma sign. Now that's for sentence. For clause we use what we call is either an alpha clause or a beta clause. I get it. Alpha clause is, we use this as an alpha clause, while we use B as a beta clause. Here we have two alpha clause, so we know this is an alpha clause and alpha clause. They are all sentence. Are we getting it? So now let's move on to the phrase or group. Now Ade is a boy. Let's take it out. Ade is a boy and also he laughs a lot. Okay, now Ade is a boy. Okay, fine. This is a clause, this is a clause, this is a clause, this is a clause. Now I want to divide the phrase in this sentence. Ade here is a phrase. We divide it. Is here, okay, yeah. divide it, then this one is divide also. I mean a group. In SFG we use grouping to pass our sentence. Not when we have TGG, that's when we have phrase, but here in SFG we use majorly group. So here a day group, is a group, a boy is a group. So that is that under the passing of sentence. Now that's under for phrase and group we use one. For word also we use one also, but for word we don't have anything. But for a morpheme, whenever you say a morpheme, we use the plus sign. For example, okay, I don't have any morpheme here. He laughs a lot. Now coming down here, laughs here is no longer a word, it's no longer a morpheme, it's a word. So what we do here is it will be laugh plus s. I hope that is that on passing of sentence. Thank you.